Hey guys, this is a video. I'm going to try to give you the kind of simplified version for music theory. Just real quick, you can apply it to any key. All I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a progression. It's all diatonic, okay? Then we'll start adding some stuff that's outside, and it's going to make perfect sense to you, and it's going to kind of hopefully demystify the music theory. So the progression is this: A. I'm going to do it in A, okay? But don't get locked into A. It could be in B flat, you know. But I'm doing it in A so I can get open strings to ring, okay? And for the music theory people, the open strings are the B and the E, okay? What's a B on an A? It's a ninth, right? So then the next one is going to be down the scale, right? I'm going to take the A scale and I'm just going to walk it down, but in chords, right? So that's all you're doing, right? There's one, okay? Big deal. 7, okay? If I look at the 7, I kind of see the 5 sitting there, right? And I could actually put the root of the 5 in. It wouldn't disturb the chord any. See what I'm saying? Here's A. I wouldn't do a chord like this because these lower tones might clash with the keyboard player. Even if he's hitting the same tones, you kind of want to, you know, play with him what a guitar does, which is stay in the middle here if there's other instruments. The more instruments, the more you have to shorten your little part. But anyway, for this demonstration, you can see it doesn't disturb the chord. Here's 1, here's 7 and 5. So 7 and 5 you can kind of think of as the same. They're relatives. Let's think of a family. This is the father. These are the relatives, cousins. The 7 and the 5 are definitely cousins, just as the 2 and the 4 are cousins. If you go into classical theory, it's called plagal, but you can go in there and discover that yourself. That's for people that like to know the names of everything they're doing. I'm just trying to show it to you so you can kind of look at it, visualize it, and then go, oh, okay, I get it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever. 1, 2, 3, right? You get to 8 again. Obviously, if you keep going, the tone goes up. You call it 9. But it's really 2. They call it 9, so you can say stuff like A major 9, you know, and do stuff. You know, you put the 9 up here, you put the 9 over here. You know, so here we go again. 1, 7 or 5, but let's just call it 7 because we're going by the roots. 6. Right? Now, you can go 5. Where are we at? Right? And then to the 4. Then to the 3. And then the 2. And then the 5. Okay, so that's based around the progression. But let's start adding some stuff to it that you might start hearing. Okay, I'm just working my way down to the 6. All I'm thinking is chromatic, kids. That's all. For you beginners, that's why it's so important that you learn these 2 strings. These are, just forget them for right now. Learn these 2 strings and all the notes that fall on me, and believe me, that's where most of my stuff, I can't think past that. So I'm thinking like 1, 7. I want to get to the 6. Well, for you little theory buffs, there's your tritone. The tritone is the 5 of the 6. Okay, so I could legally go. Right? Or some form of it. Right? Okay. Let's add to the 2. just did a little walk up, right? All that is just it's the 5 of where I'm going. Keep with your theory, right? Right? That's all E7. E sus, E7. E sus, E7, right? And if I know an E7 is nothing more, use your theory, okay? 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. Right? So that's what I'm saying. Get to know where your numbers are. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we already talked about adding the 4 doesn't matter. You're not going to mess anything up. You're not going to change the band. They're not going to look at you funny. You can always go over this chord. See? So, here we go back to the progression. 1, 7. Passing, which is just a sub for the 5 to the 6. There's 6 dominant, because where am I going? I'm going to the 2. Okay, this is just a sub chord. You know what this is? It's a 2 dominant. I'll show you how it works. Here it goes. Okay, we all know this chord. That's a 9th chord. So I'm going 2, 3, 4, 2, and then 2 minor, right? Right? So here we go, back to the progression. 1, 7. Right? It's just a 2. Here's a common thing. Diminish, back to the 1. But don't put the root in, just put the 5th in the bass so you can use the diminished again to get to the 6. Okay, the diminished is just a sub for the 5 of where you're going. Which in this case is F sharp minor. Okay, what's the 5 of F sharp minor? Gee, it's this right here. C sharp. Diminished. Right? And that's why we talk about diminished chords again. They're nothing more than dominant chords with a flat 9. And I'm back to here, right? Don't let these chords mystify you, man. These are just dominant chords with a flatted 9th. And then they resolve. Now here's something else you can do with this is the theory that I wanted to show you. All these chords, when you play, you can you run across this chord with the scale, right? Right, and then. Now I'm going to stay in this position for the people that know. But usually I would do that in, you know. And now, here's something about the 6. You know you can put the 9th on it. Why? Because that's part of an A scale. This is all in the form of parent of A. So you can see that 7 and 5 are cousins. Right? Because I can play anything I play over this 6 minor, I can play with. You can play over that, right? Obviously the 5 and the 1, you know, the 4 and the 2 are cousins because they're the same notes, just a different bass. 4, 2. Okay. Why can I put the 9th? Because this is the 3rd of A. Okay. Here's the next minor. Why can't I put a 9th there? Why does that sound out of key? It sounds beautiful, but it sounds out of key. Why? Because this is not part of an A. That's a flatted 5th. That's not part of. You know, the scale goes not right. So you have to understand that before you can start putting this 9th in there on purpose and jamming it into people's ears when they might not expect it, because there is a place for it. But here, back to the progression. Here we go. 1, 7, sub, 5 to the 2, 3, 4. Now I make my 3s. I don't use major 7s. Remember, the major 7 of the A, kind of want to stay away from it in gospel. At least I do. My ear doesn't want to hear it. I'd rather hear this rather than, right? Which is nothing more than this, right? Right? That's just a 2 dominant. So you can start hearing that the way I approach it is whenever I get to the 2, I'm going to go for the dominant first, you know. I might even go for the dominant sus. And then go for that, you know. You can also do that for a 2-5. Instead of always going 2-5, you can go. Because what are you doing? You're going 4, 5, 1, which is very common. You're just doing it with your right. So you use your simple diatonic theory. Here's one more thing before I close this video. And by the way, as far as the theory goes, you run across all the chords when you hit the major scale, just diatonically. Check it out. If I start here and run an A major scale, I just basically ran over this. A B, I know it sounds weird out of context, but it's a B minor 6. Right? And the reason why this out note works, or what might sound out to the beginners, is because it's part of an A. Right? Sometimes what you leave out. But here, anyway, so as you run across the scale, you just do the scale. You run across the chords. Here's the next, which is okay. That's how you're going to learn your patterns, is learning the chords. So you can run the chords from here. This is why I say learn your your 6th string root and your 5th string root. If you learn every note on here, you'll know where all the keys are. There's not that many, people. It only goes here. It's only that much. You only have to learn. So you're going to quickly get E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, right? And then you're going to quickly get E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, or however you want to look at it, G, A flat, A. There's a reason why they're called A flat and not G sharp. Depends on the key. Go to your theory. I'm not going to explain music theory here. I'm just telling you, learn these 2 strings like in your sleep. Learn them. And then you'll have 6th string root, 5th string root, where the root is on the 5th string. And then there's chords. Just run the chords down. I just did 1, 7, whatever, 5, all through to the 6. 6 dominant to the 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's just take it from right there. 1. Right? That kind of wants to go. Right? But let's just do it simple. So you got 1 to the 7. And I'm going to go. There's the 6. That's 4, 3, 2, 3, right? 4, diminished. You can go here, or you can go here, and then 3, 4, right? Here's something that's also set up. So now you got the theory of knowing that wherever you run the A major scale, you're going to run across the chords from that. If I run an A major scale here, I'm going to be doing stuff I can do over F sharp minor. If I run it here, it's stuff I can do over this. If I do it over here, I can do it over the B minor. If I do it here, you know, if I do it here, you know, it's the same thing. I can do the 4 chord over here in an A position. Right? If I do it here, look what I just did. I just formed an E7. Okay, that's an E7. Okay, if I do it over here, I'm back to the 6 and then the 7 again. The 7 you can do a couple different places. Then you start linking the positions, but it'll happen. That just happens with time. It's not that I'm any better or anybody's any better than you. It's just time. You know, I'm 55, so just give it time. I started doing this when I was 28, so it takes time. I mean, I played when I was a kid, but you know, I didn't take the theory serious because the theory opens up your playing. You can stop guessing. You know, so here's the last. This is it, man. This is the end of the video right here. The progression. All that was 2, 3, 4, a sub for a diminished chord, which would have been the 5 of the next whatever E, okay, and then E7 sus. That's the 5, okay. That's the 5 of the key I'm in, and that you can do a lot with. Change, put a flat 9, you can put a flat 9, a flat 5, sharp 11, whatever. You can do a lot with that, and then Be careful about sounding too jazzy in church. That's I end up doing that. And then here's one little tidbit I'm going to throw in at the end of this. This is the Steve Morse trick. Learn the same notes in 2 different positions. Learn them in 3 different positions. That's what I did. But the 2 most important ones are this. And the same notes over here. Right? Right? So anyway, I hope that helps somebody. It's kind of a long video, I know. If you have any questions, just comment below. I'd love for you to subscribe and watch some more videos, and go over to the Facebook page and tell me how you approach it, because we all know it's the way you think about something which is what makes it sound the way it does. It's how you're thinking about it. If I'm thinking minor, it's going to sound minor. If I'm thinking dominant, it's going to sound dominant. It could be the same chord. So anyway, I hope that helps. Take care. Peace.